It could have been me. It's a common thought after hearing about a mass shooting at a mall near Portland. So many of us head to the mall during the holidays to do our holiday shopping. This shooting happened not far from here. This is our sister city to the south. So when you heard about what happened, did it change your behavior? Many say after something like this, they try to be more aware of their surroundings, which makes us think about the psychological effects of mass shootings. And for more on that, we're joined now by best-selling author Dr. Greg Jantz. Always great to see you.
Thank you.
What sort of effect do mass shootings like this have on the greater public?
Two things we need to really talk about. First of all, if you've ever had any trauma in your life or you've ever been diagnosed having post-traumatic stress disorder, this can be a time that's very unsettling. It can be a time you may feel flashbacks, you may have dreams, you may feel a lot of anxiety. Also, for a person who's ever had an anxiety disorder, these are trigger points. I see something very traumatic on television, a killing, and it can re-trigger these stress points that are already there in my life.
As sad as it is, it seems like we hear about mass shootings monthly.
Yeah.
It's an American reality. So over time, do we become desensitized to it?
Well, you think about it, not to get into gun control, but we have over 300 million firearms in our country. And it's as though these things are almost normal. We hear a mall shooting, we hear a school shooting. We tend in our minds almost, unfortunately, to normalize it, treat as, well, that's just what happens here. And to normalize something as tragic as this, I guess I want to caution against that.
Let's talk about our kids. Many of us have the news on in the background.
Yes.
Kids hang out at the mall.
Right.
Some kids live at the mall. And when they hear about this, how are they going to react? What should we say to them as parents?
Okay, well, this time of year we've got mall Santa Claus, and we've got activities at the mall.
Happy things.
Happy things. And for kids, this could be a time, maybe I'm afraid all of a sudden to go to the mall or to see Santa. There are things that are going to happen. The number one thing to do is we've got to talk about it, Matt. We've got to bring it up and talk, not over talk about it, but let's talk about what's happened. And we also need to talk about it from an optimistic, positive perspective.
What is that?
Well, it's simply put that this is something that has happened. These things rarely happen. Mom and Dad or whoever it is, I'm with you, and we're going to be okay. We need to have reassurance for our kids.
The mall is safe. When we go to the mall,
Absolutely.
You are safe. Reassure them that they are safe.
And importantly, don't wait too long to go back to the mall.
Okay.
Head in there, make it a positive experience, and you know, I'd combine it with a treat.
Really? Make it fun.
Make it a positive experience.
Okay. Is there the possibility that people could be affected by an event like this in the news and not even know it? They are showing symptoms. What are those symptoms and what should they be aware of?
One of the things that we'll notice sometimes is people who maybe you're already feeling stressed out. We see an increase in agoraphobic symptoms. In other words, people who are afraid of open spaces. I go into the mall and maybe suddenly I feel a little shaky or I feel some anxiousness. Okay, that could be a normal response to something that's happened. And just be aware of that. Know that your body's going to have responses to it. Now, some of that, of course, is normal, but don't let that fear get a stronghold in your life.
Let's talk more about that, because as the average person, how should I internalize random violence at a public place? Because I want to be aware of it, but I don't want it to stop me from doing the things I want to do.
What's most important is that you don't allow it to stop. The minute you allow it to stop or you isolate is the time that fear is going to increase in your life. That's why I want you to face it. I want you to get back out there. Also, the probability of events happening right after this one is very small, and you need to understand that. So don't let fear paralyze you. Understand and be brave and go out there and be willing to talk about it, but face it.
All right, will do. Greg Jantz,
Yes.
always great information. Good to see you. Thanks.
Good to be with you.
Maria, back to you.